Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Welcome back to my weekly live card readings. I'm Yana Kasperczak. Some of you are brand new in this group, so I want to take a moment to welcome you. And some of you are Canadian. Say hello, Canadian friends. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, since today is the Monday of Thanksgivings. And if you hear any noises upstairs, just know that it's not the ghosts, but the family. So Yana Kasperczak, your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach, and it has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together, so you can break free from the mental prison that you find yourself in and build a life and a business that you are not just proud of, but are obsessed with, that are excited to wake up to every single day. So I have messed up my sleep just a little bit, as some of you can tell, hence the fumbling over my words, but hey, it is what it is. And the holidays kinda, I don't want to say require, even though that's the phrase that comes to mind, because we might feel like the holidays require us to stay up longer, but I feel like it becomes more so an opportunity where we can stay up longer and either spend time with the family or ourselves, or whatever it is that we feel called to be doing with our time. I haven't had much of my coffee today either, so that could be another reason why. So, I love my cup of joe. This is one of the mugs that we got from Disney World, and this is my favorite one because it's actually the biggest of the mugs that we got. So this is the biggest reason why it is my favorite one. Okay, what is your drink of choice first thing in the morning? Do you drink water? Do you drink coffee? Do you drink tea? Maybe lemon water? Or maybe something a little stronger? And you can be as honest as you want to be, or you don't have to, but as long as you're being honest with yourself, that's the key. And there's absolutely no judgment here. We all the stages that we go through in our life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the rock bottoms, the top of the mountains, all of these that we go through are vitally important, each and every stage. And we will not move up or away or sideways from any stage that we're in our life until we have learned what we needed to learn. And that is why I believe that whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing, whatever your demon is, or demons, they're there for a reason and a season. But how long the season is going to be, it partially is up to you, but partially not up to you. Your subconscious is the one that is running your life. It is the one that is creating the life that you're living, as you see it, as you feel it, as you experience it. And if you don't like it, you gotta change the programming, which means you gotta understand what it is, who you are being, and also understand who you are meant to be. So today's card is a very pretty one. Yeah, let's look at the pretty card, ladies. Me-Tox, repairing the body, mind, spirit. Interesting, eh? I'll bring it closer so you guys can see. Me-Tox. It's like me talking. Listen to myself talk and understand myself talking. And when I pause and understand myself talking, I get to know my true self, and I also see the me who I'm trying to be, the me who I am not truly am, but the me that other people see. And the best way that I know works for all of us to see who we are, to understand and hear who we are, is 1, journaling. If you sit there and you think and focus on your thoughts, even though you see and hear your thought clearly, you do not see it for what it is until you write it down. So when it comes to journaling, I'm not talking about just writing a story of how you're feeling. Yes, that's going to be helpful 1,000%. But if you just want to get to know your thoughts, a thought comes to mind and then you see it and you feel it very clearly. Great. Now the next step is to write it down and see it in front of you. When you see it in front of you, you see it in a different way. You understand it in a different way. And you can actually do something with it as well. So, and your thoughts are kind of like bubbles. They come and they go and they float away, and they come and they go and they float back, right? And float away. Some of them pop, but they keep coming back. Marlena says, good morning, Marlena. Marlena says, good morning. At new doctors trying to get answers, prayers, and good thoughts out your way. Please. I am sending you all of the positive thoughts, prayers, and energy. I know everything is energy, and the one thing I always feel called to is burning candles, because this is like one of the, honestly, I haven't really spent too much time figuring out why I've been called towards burning candles, but the best way I can describe it is this is how we communicate with spirit. This is how we can focus our energy on the candle as it burns, and even as it's burning and we're not near it, setting an attention on the candle and it's burning, it's sending that energy at a steady pace towards whomever or whatever we're sending it towards. And I like the steady pace because we don't want the candle to burn too fast. We don't want ourselves to burn too fast, because this is how we experience burnout. Good morning, Rebecca, to you as well. Candle magic opens path holes, or potholes. Yeah, path holes, I think it would be. It definitely does. This is why, if you look at so many different traditions, when they're even communicating with the dead, right? There's always candles. When we talk to our loved ones, when we want to heal our loved ones or help them heal, we burn candles. So I'm gonna burn candles, or a candle, for Marlena. Most of you ladies already know that's what I do. I always say I'll light a candle for you, or I'll burn a candle for you. Okay. So, let's see what potholes. I can do life-changing ideas while looking into the flame. That too. That's why there's magic behind that fire, that flame, and we can even see beyond it as well. It's almost like a small window into the other side. Port holds phone Jeep's changing. Okay. Yeah, this is a very interesting image. It's interesting. Mermaid with bubbles, and there's some people in those bubbles as well, as we all think of people in bubbles. Oh, interesting. Last week we were number 40, which was mindful. 2 different words, and today we're at 39, which is Me-Tox, eliminating toxic thinking, repairing the body, mind, spirit, cleaning house. Ooh, I love cleaning house. Decluttering and organizing is my jam. And it is not just in the physical sense. It is in the spiritual, the body, mind, spirit, and the soul sense. And in many cases, we use the physical spaces to cleanse ourselves, to declutter and organize, and the physical, the mental, the spiritual body feels the rewards of that. And when it comes to the mind and cleansing the mind, it is what I was saying earlier, when you have that thought, when you see that bubble floating with a character, with a story inside of it, that is called a thought, when you write that thought down, that character, that story, when you write it down, you see it for what it is. And when you see it for what it is, usually two of the things happen. One, you see the holes in that story. You see the unrealism in that story, or you see some opportunities for your growth and evolution in there. Right? You either let it go because you realize, oh my God, that's so stupid, it doesn't make sense. It's like I can't believe I was thinking that, but you were, and it was so real when it was in you because you didn't see it for what it is. But then when you see it outside of you, like, oh my God, I can't believe I was thinking that, I was believing that, how, and you said belittling yourself. But this is where you stop. You don't start trashing yourself and the stories you were carrying, because those stories were valid. They were very real and they felt very real. So instead of bashing yourself for them, see them for what they are, allow them to exist elsewhere because somebody else is thinking them as well. Be thankful that they were there guiding you to this present moment now. Debbie says, I started writing thoughts down in the morning this weekend. Amazing. How did that go for you? How did you feel when you wrote that thought down, and then the next one and saw them for what they are? Because when we see it outside of ourselves, like I was saying earlier, it's so much more clear. Like when you look into these bubbles and you see those characters, you can't see the character. Even for you ladies, it looks blurry. Even for me, it's almost just as blurry. I cannot see the character. I cannot see it clearly. And one of them, it almost looks like some kind of a monster holding its hands up. Debbie says each day is different. Oh yeah, 1,000%. Even the same thought comes back in a different way. Because the word virus comes to mind. It's like a virus. Virus keeps coming back until you cut it at the root. That rotting root that keeps spreading its virus everywhere. So the thoughts, the stories that we carry, they're not clear until we get them out of our minds. And like Debbie said, each day it's different. And it's different because it is so deeply rooted that you got to keep getting it out, keep getting that poison, that virus out, and keep cleaning it, keep organizing your mental space. And before you know it, because you're not going to know when it's going to happen, when that fateful day will be, it's just going to happen. And when that happens, just imagine how light you will feel. It's like the best way I can remind you what that feels like, because you all know what that feels like, because you've done it, whether you've done it consciously or subconsciously. You've done this before, where you've taken a moment to really, really understand your thoughts and you let them go, or you embrace them and you learn from them. Is that feeling of lightness is you know me, I wouldn't be me if I didn't bring a little bit of humor, if you will, and real life with humor. Is when you really, really, really had to go number 2 to the bathroom and you finally made it, maybe like by a smidge of a second, that if you didn't make it, you thought this was it, that you were going to just shit your pants and people are going to see you with shitty pants. Anyway, so you got to the bathroom and you went and you felt so like, oh my God, so much lighter. Or another more pleasant example is when you get a haircut. And it's the best haircut you have had your entire life. And you walk out of that salon and you feel like you're on cloud. That's what it's like when you start shedding these toxic thoughts and stories that make who you are this is your default programming. You start understanding what they are and you start shedding them. Kind of like shedding them out. That's why that story comes through, because there are days, especially when you're just starting this practice, is there's going to be days where you're going to feel kind of like what I described, that you just can't take it anymore. You feel so much and you run to your journal and you feel like you just made it and you unleash it all and you feel a massive release. And the release can come through as hysterical laughter, hysterical cry, or just cry, or sobbing, or happy smile, or joyful feeling, and just lightness. It comes through in so many different ways. And there's no right or wrong way of feeling it. And that's just one way to release those thoughts. Okay, now let's read, shall we? When the Me-Tox card appears, it challenges you to discard the deep, deadly held judgments that you have passed over yourself and others. How you judge others is how you judge yourself. But how you judge yourself is usually 100 times worse than how you judge others. Which means some of you don't actually judge others very much. Just very, very little once in a while. And that means you judge yourself 100 times worse. And also judge yourself for judging others. And punish yourself or banish yourself for judging others. But it is human nature to do that. Now, the judging doesn't have to be negative. That's the part that we can consciously choose at one point or another in our life. Marlena said, that's what I did for my trip. I wrote, I was going, and once I did that, things started moving to go. Makes it real. Yeah. It's in a way also manifesting, where you start writing down who you want to be as well, in all these different ways, and you then start noticing all of that becoming reality. And then Rebecca says, I don't write all my thoughts unless I am compelled. Yeah, sometimes we do it because we're compelled, and sometimes we do it because we feel like we need to, and sometimes we do it because it's a practice, and other times we do it because we maybe can't tolerate it anymore. But that could potentially be another word for compelled, where just you need that release. And everyone does it in a different way. And it's not necessarily something you got to continue doing throughout your life either. Like, for example, I don't do that very much. I rarely write my thoughts at this point, because I have spent quite a bit of time understanding myself, getting to know myself and my thoughts and my patterns, and changing myself in the roots, changing my programming, understanding my programming. And that's why I do what I preach, I do what I talk about, and I actually have done it, and then I started talking about it, not necessarily as I'm doing it. I approached everything in that way, and what I've learned is when I'm talking about the things that I'm doing, I am less likely to follow through and complete and do it. And that's why I do the work in the silence of my mind, in the silence of my own space, my own home. And then as I've done the work and I've taken the time to understand and learn, then I share it with all of you. I go and I prove and validate the concepts, the practices, and then I share it with each and every one of you. So that way I know it works. I know it works. So I used to write my thoughts, and then that's why I remember I would write them and I see them for what they are, and I was just like, really, Yana? How stupid are you to be thinking that way of yourself or of the past or of this experience. It doesn't make any sense. But then when I would go deeper and question, well, where is it coming from? When was this created? What state of mind was I in when this was created? And then it helps me to really understand and see just how real that thought, that story was within me, even though it's ridiculous outside of me. But understanding where it's coming from, that is how get the virus out. When you get a virus on your computer, you don't just go and delete. They say their virus is in this program. You don't just go and delete that program and that's it, and think that's it, it's done. It's still in there somewhere. So what you probably do, what I would do, is get an expert to come in and look at the computer and see where the virus actually is hiding and get it out. So, release the people who you feel wronged or offended you. Recognize that they mirror the shadow aspects of your own soul. Release them means don't hold grudges, don't be angry, don't be upset at them, because they're just showing you. The you that you don't want to see, the you that you're hiding from, the you that you might not even know is there yet, because you only see yourself in others. And if you're seeing the bad in others, chances are those are the things that you're seeing within yourself. If you're seeing the good in others, chances are you're starting to, or you are seeing the good in yourself. And when you start to, the part of release the people who you feel wronged you or offended you, is what the part of release, I refer to it as detached involvement, where you let them be without trying to change them or convince them of anything or point out the wrong they're doing. It's not always necessary. It's just an opportunity for you to see those things in yourself and focus on yourself and fix yourself. Because the advice, and think of it this way, the advice that you have given to other people, how many times can you count on one or maybe two of your hands that this is the advice as you spoke it out loud? That was the advice that you yourself needed. Or the ideas that you shared with others was the idea that you needed yourself. And then once it left your mouth, you're like, oh, yeah, that's what I need. Well, that's what I have to do or need to do. But until it becomes one of the things that you desire to do, that you choose to do, chances are you won't have enough energy to do it. Because when we do things from a place of, I need to, I have to, I must, there's very little energy available. Because it comes from force. It's catabolic energy. When we come from a place, I choose to, I get to, I desire to, you have so much fire within you, you have so much energy to do that thing and become that thing or that person that you want to become. Even if it's as simple as organizing or decluttering your house, or decluttering and organizing, right? You got to start with decluttering and then you organize. Okay. Recognize that they mirror the shadow aspects of your own soul. Yes, it is a tough pill to swallow. Only then can you call from your life the toxic people you have allowed into your inner circle. What will happen is that instead of you focusing on them and what's wrong with them, you recognize that everyone is a mirror. You recognize that you're seeing those parts of yourself that you don't like for whatever reason. And you can spend the time understanding the reason. That can be helpful, yes. Or You can choose to, and it's going to be different each time. Sometimes you do need to spend the time, and sometimes you don't. It's all a matter of what it is and how it feels, and what you feel is important, and recognizing that one can be just a distraction, where I want to spend the time to understand the reason, and it comes through as actual avoidance. So instead of avoiding, you doing the work, maybe perhaps you just do the work and then you understand the reasons why afterwards. So understanding the opportunity for you on what you can do to improve yourself, and then working on yourself and improving yourself and healing yourself, and identifying those dark parts of yourself that you don't want within yourself. Because other people point these things out without pointing them out as opportunities for you to become the best version of yourself. When you heal those parts of yourself, all those people will naturally almost like disappear from your life. They will no longer be part of your life. And the right people that resonate with this new version of you, that vibrates at a different frequency, that emits different energy, that has different aura around her, around you, you will attract people who are in alignment with that version of you. This is what this card is about, right? You can be as weird as you want to be, but be true and authentic to yourself. And the biggest part of that is identifying those voices of the inner critic, the one that I refer to as the imposter, that is keeping you trapped in your mental prison. It's time for cleaning of your proverbial house. Get rid of the thoughts and personal judgments poisoning your mind. Eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you've adopted as your own. There are even people who have given you ways how to look at people, things, and situations, and how to judge them, but they're not yours. But you've taken them on as yours because you didn't know there was any other option. And at the same time, the subconscious is that miraculous that it just takes these things in and it stores them in your attic. This is your attic, your brain. It stores them in there. And now that you're spending time cleaning house, your proverbial house, you have the opportunity to get all that out. And it's not going to happen in one go. It's a process. It's a journey. But is that the journey that you want to go on? Is that the journey that you feel called to go on or compelled to go on that journey? So eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you've adopted as your own. Do so before your mind makes you sick. And empty your literal cupboards of the unhealthy junk food poisoning your body. The actual cupboards. Go through your house, and I know this is going to be hard for many of you. You can approach it in however way you want it. There's basically two options. Keep the junk in your house, eat it all, but don't buy it anymore after. And the other option is just collect it, gather it, and get rid of it. Now, the getting rid part, it could be donating it, it could be just tossing it. But what you put into your body is going to affect your mind, and it's going to affect your body. How? Well, there haven't been enough studies that have been publicized to show us what all these different foods do. But there have been enough studies publicized. There haven't been enough, and yet there has been enough that show us just enough to know that there's a reason why the food and the drug industry is in the one sentence. And I'll leave it there. Fast for one day or skip a meal to allow your body to cleanse itself and rid itself of toxins. I do recommend fasting. And the easiest way to fast is have your dinner really early, let's say 5-6 o'clock, and then after that, don't eat anything until maybe tomorrow's dinner. Or if you really want to push the envelope, which you can, until the following morning. So have your dinner. The next day, just have lemon water throughout the day. Lemon water with salt, just to keep you hydrated and make sure that you're getting your electrolytes and everything. And then eat the following morning. And see how cleansed you will feel. Debbie says, I was doing morning meditation, but feel the need for that later in the day. Many and my kids remind me of things I told them when I needed reminding. And it's great that we have family that is able to remind us things. It's important as well. Debbie says, going to make detox tea. Amazing. I love that. I love to hear what you put in your detox tea as well. And anyone else who makes your own detox tea, I'd love to hear what you put in there as well. For my detox tea, I put marshmallow root and stinging nettle and raspberry leaf. Those are usually the things that I put in there. And I don't add any sweeteners. I don't add anything to it. Just warm water, because hot it scorches the plant, but warm water. Good morning, Kimberly, to you as well. Rebecca says, having fresh ginger and lemon now. That's a really great detox as well. It definitely is. Not the best tasting for me, but it's good. Okay. Let's finish with this reading. Me-Tox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care and pampering you long for. You're longing for it, and you need that pampering. You got to take care of yourself, your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional body, all those bodies. And I know this is a reminder for me as well. This is why I am under the weather, because I've fallen off the wagon, so to speak. Not necessarily jumped off the moving train that was moving in the right direction with the eating habits and the things that I was putting into my body. So I've been getting back on that train. So I'm a human being. I'm guilty of these guilty pleasures, just like all of you. So I'm no no angel here, as the phrase goes. The time is now. Do healthy maintenance on your body before you have to make repairs that you will never quite recover from. That is a powerful reminder that it's either we invest in our health now, and we think it's expensive to invest in our health, to eat healthy, to eat clean. But if you compare it to, you will pay for it later down the road, where you're forced to make different investments in your body, that some of these things you can never ever repair from and recover. That is it worth the investment now? Or do you want to put that investment off for later? And I don't. And I know my body has already been telling me, get back to the healthy ways, Yana. You know what they are. Don't consume this, don't consume that. But it's like, it's temptation. It tastes so good because it tricks your brain. It tells you that it's the best thing ever. But when I pause and remind myself through a bunch of questions, but the biggest one is, how will I feel 10 minutes from now after I eat this? Do I want to feel that way? No. Then don't consume it. And then don't consume it. Kimberly says, I have ginger root, marshmallow root, and honey. Yeah, that's medicine right there as well. All these recipes, I love it, ladies. Thank you. Keep them coming if you have any other ones. They'll be helpful to anyone who is watching and listening. And of course, me, I can go back and take these recipes and then put it all together and make. I have some fresh frozen ginger root ground up, and then turmeric as well. I prefer consuming the real thing and not in a capsule form. Rex says, I have a hard time getting off the sugar. I'm addicted. Yeah, you're not the only one. Sugar is the biggest addiction of them all, and it's in everything. Everything. And that's why even breads have sugar. Why does bread need sugar? It doesn't need sugar. But those are the breads that our kids love. We went back to making our own breads. I've gone as far as getting one of those metal containers that you can make your own cold cuts in. So that way we don't have to buy those cold cuts that literally have poisons and forever chemicals and forever metals and all that shit. And it's more work that way. But is it worth the investment now? So I don't have to pay for it later? Absolutely. Because this is not an investment just for me. This is for my family. And yes, it is worth the investment. The investment of time. Because the money investment, come on guys, like money is the one thing that we do have an abundance of. We can always get more money. We can't get the time back. We can't get the energy back once we've given it. We give back a different energy, not the same one. Yes, we can recharge our energy 1,000%, but we can't get our time back. And we can't get some of our health back. So is it worth the investment now, today, so we don't have to pay 10 or 100 times more down the future, or even potentially have a shorter lifespan? It's not worth it then. The investment is today into our health. And for many of us, money is going to be involved in every investment. You want to go and buy ginger root, that's going to cost you money. You can go buy the ones that's grown in some dirty countries, or you can go buy the one locally. Locally is going to cost you a little bit more. But in the long run, you're getting the real thing that is picked when it's meant to be picked, and not before. And what if you're getting something that's grown in the lab? You're getting some kind of an alien that is not even a real thing. Is it worth the investment? Absolutely. Absolutely. Stinging nettle. Dandelion, Debbie says dandelion root, leaf, and burdock. I don't have any burdock. I'm not sure what you mean by leaf. Is it stinging nettle leaf? I have that. I do have dandelion root, and actually dandelion root is a great replacement for coffee. It's just as nasty and bitter as black coffee. So if you want to get off coffee, coffee is another addiction, ladies. Let's be honest. I have a cup of coffee here, and I know it's an addiction. And I broke away from that addiction, and then, look, I just one coffee today. It won't hurt me. And then it was from that day on, it was every day, and it's been a few years. But coffee is an addiction. It does not help us to think clear. It affects us in so many different ways. Go into that rabbit hole as well. Look into it. I looked into it, and that's why I stopped. And then I got back into it, and it's another one I gotta break. Sugar, coffee, and junky food. Yeah. Debbie says dandelion, both root and leaf. Yeah, and the flower itself is great in salads, and leaf itself is great in salads as well. Okay, so let's finish this reading super quickly because my family's upstairs waiting. I saw the message come through from my husband. Do healthy maintenance on your body before you have to make repairs that you will never quite recover from. Me-Tox has come to caution you that it is not too late, but you are at the 11th hour. Do not deprive yourself of the health you deserve. So, to reiterate, get your shit together, okay? Stop. This is the tough coach here, okay? Get your shit together. Quit your bitching. Quit your whining. Quit your complaining. Quit your excuses. You're not fooling anyone. You're not even fooling yourself, and you know that. You know exactly what you need to do, and stop waiting for some miracle of you getting your motivation, inspiration, and I'll do it when I'm ready, when I feel like it. You, at that pace, by the time that you're ready, the 12th hour will clock in. The time is now. The moment that you feel inspired, you know it's not gonna last forever, and you know tomorrow it's not gonna come. You got to create your own inspiration. You gotta create your own motivation every single day. You got to tap in to the monster that lives within you, that is disciplined beyond belief, beyond what you thought you were capable of, and you can tap into her. And you gotta keep tapping into her every single day, consistently, without fail, no matter how you feel. Even if it means today you're going to do half of the things that you would normally do half. Do not take the day off. Taking a day off and having these cheat days, whether it's the cheat day on food, whether it's the cheat day on your self-care, on your routines and your habits, any kind of cheat day is, you're only cheating yourself. That's why it's called a cheat day or a cheat meal. You're cheating yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors. Absolutely not. It can cause you so much more damage, and it becomes a very, very slippery slope, just like this freaking coffee that I'm still going to finish, by the way. Because I also understand that it's important that you can't quit everything at once. So I'm not telling you to get your shit together in every tiny little area of your life. Absolutely not. It's not that it's not possible. It is. But not for the majority of us. Here's how I'll put it. It's possible, but it's not feasible. It's not going to be something that you can sustain for a long period of time. So that's why it is possible, yes, but it's not sustainable. And you want it to be sustainable, which means you gotta start small. How can you start small? If you want to stop drinking coffee, what are you going to replace it with? You can't just get rid of it and do nothing. You got to replace it with something. So what are you going to replace it with? I just told you that dandelion root tastes just as nasty as coffee does. Black. Some of you probably love the taste of black coffee, but it's pretty damn similar. It just, you gotta remind your brain that this is coffee, and I love this, and I love this, and I love this, and before you know it, you're gonna love it. What else do you want to do? Maybe you want to go through those cupboards and get rid of all the junk. What do you identify as junk? Well, if it's in your cupboard, chances are it's junk. If it's in your fridge, chances are it's good. If it's preserved, hopefully by you, someone you know, and not an industry that has allowed it in your grocery store, then chances are it's good. Know what you are consuming. Every single ingredient. If you don't know an ingredient, Google it. And when you start Googling things, you become knowledge that, and we're all empowered with knowledge. Knowledge itself is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So when you learn something, as such thing as an ingredient, you become knowledgeable, and then you feel empowered by you not taking the product into your house, bringing it into your house where everybody else will consume. We no longer have cereal in the house for our kids. And how do you know it's also an addiction for kids as well? Is that every time we go to the grocery store, they want it. And I'm not gonna lie, that once in a while, we love our kids so much that we want to make them happy, and we say yes to buying them what I refer to as poison. And we say yes to these things. And then give your kids the cereal, watch them eat it, and then watch and observe them. In the next 10 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes, see how different they start to behave. There's so much stuff in our food products that it is no longer food. Even the ice cream that you buy is no longer ice cream. It's frozen dessert because they can't legally call it ice cream. Question: if you're buying cream cheese, oh, that's one example from us. Buying cream cheese, there's two different cream cheeses in front of me. One is $1 less. Look at the ingredients. This one, $1 less, milk ingredient, milk modified ingredients. I stop reading because the rest is not going to be good. The first few ingredients is it's like if you look at, let's say this is a jar, and you look at this jar as the ingredient. They tell you milk ingredients, that means it's about almost half of it, just that. And then the next ingredient is going to be a little bit more. So the first ingredients is what it's primarily made out of. So the next cream cheese, it says milk culture. Which one do you think I'm going to buy? The old me wouldn't even have looked at the ingredient list. The younger version of the old me would have bought that one because it's $1 less. I'm saving $1. So I'm doing good for my family, right? Then now me doesn't even question $1 because money is energy. And if I am saying that money is more important than health, then I'm going to be losing health, and I'm going to be also losing money because there's a lack in this dialogue that's happening internally. Then buy this one because now I'm no longer questioning the dollar. It's not even in the line of my awareness at this point that I'm looking at the ingredients because that is what matters. And it brings an abundance of health and money and energy and mental clarity. And because that's why I say it's a slippery slope, because I live it once in a while as well, that I went down eating crap for, vacation, and I'm here with my family, and yes, I'll indulge and I'll enjoy this thing and this and that. But now my body is physically telling me how much I have punished it. I haven't been sick for almost 2 years, and now I am. This is how, this card reading is not just for you all, it's for me as well. It's a powerful reminder of how slippery that slope can be. Instead, standing at that cliff edge that's just crumbling, I don't want to go down with it. So I'm reeling back. And like I said, not all at once. You choose which way you want to go. You choose how you want to approach. My health journey started 8.5 years ago at this point, with feeding my brain, taking care of my brain. The toxic thoughts that sometimes weren't even thoughts, they were more of the emotion. And when I started working on myself, the personal development, and then applying, which is personal growth, that is when things started to change. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is. So for a long time, I was learning and not applying what I learned. And then I started applying what I learned without having to go and learn more, because I've already learned enough. And that's a tough cookie to swallow sometimes, because we feel like, I don't know enough, I need to go learn more. Not necessarily. But what also helped me tremendously was following a clear path because I didn't know what to do or how to do or where to go. I have all this knowledge, and then now what? But by going through a program, and I did it with a coach. I chose to do it one-on-one coaching, which always costs more than group coaching. So I chose to go through that and follow a path, even though there was that rebel in me saying, I want to do it my way. I want to do it my way. I humbled her and I said, no, let's just stick to the plan and follow the leader, if you will. Even though it's always been challenging for me to just follow the leader and do as I'm told. And yet it wasn't always hard to do. I still did it, regardless of that rebel within me that didn't want to. And by doing that, little by little, I wouldn't be here where I am today if it wasn't for all those things that I chose to do that I didn't believe I was either worthy of or ready for. Rebecca says, I don't buy cereal. My 6-year-old cries for Fruit Loops. Oh, right. And then Rebecca says, interesting. And then Debbie says, I watched a video about salt yesterday. And salt is actually really good. From what I've learned, we're being told that salt is really bad for us, but it's specific kind of salt. You want the real salt, like pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. Those are the salts that you want, because our body actually needs it. It runs on salt. Why do you think our tears are salty? And when we sweat, we lose salt. It's our vitamins and minerals. We need it. We don't need a crazy amount of it, but we do need it. But we need the real authentic salt and not the one that's been made in the lab. That's not the actual white poison. So, anyways, my family's summoning again, questioning, it's supposed to be the day off, Yana, why are you doing live video? Like, because I love to, and my ladies love it, and they wait for me, so. And that's why. Anyways, thank you, everybody. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. The next card that kept popping up, which I'm not going to read, I just want to show it to you, is Root Girl, the disowned self. I just want to leave you with that lingering thought. What is it? Cliffhanger. I might look into it for myself, as I'm curious, but I will leave it on top. And if I feel like looking at it next time, I will look at it next time. Root Girl, the disowned self. This one, honestly, I feel like it's a lot of the things I was talking about. It's going to the root, into your roots and healing your roots and cutting off all the bad ones, because you do feel like you're disowned. You feel like you're unloved, unseen, unvalidated because of how you interpreted your external world through your childlike eyes when you were growing up. And you felt all those things, that your parents didn't love you, didn't like you, weren't there for you, when they actually were. Because now your kids are feeling how you felt in many ways when you were young. And when you're being tough and strict with them, like in instance, you're not buying Fruit Loops, chances are the way that a child might interpret that is, you don't love me. You don't want to buy me the things that I love and I enjoy. Right? But that's not why. You're doing it because you love your child. And this is one of the things I gotta remind, and I do remind our kids all the time. I'm not saying no because I don't love you. I'm saying no because I love you. And then I remind them of why it's not good and healthy. But now we're at a point where I ask them, why do you think that is? Why do you think I say no to this food product? Right? And sometimes, yeah, it comes through as hurt feelings, but that's okay. I'm not there to fix those feelings and get rid of them. It's for them to understand and grow through and learn that this is also not a healthy approach. Crying over Fruit Loops, right? Anyways, thank you. Rebecca says, I love your shirt. Thank you. I love my shirt too. I got it from a dollar store last year, and I was surprised they had it. I'm like, oh, this is actually a really nice shirt, and it fits decently nice. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends once again. Yes, we do have it before Halloween, and this is why I wore this Halloween shirt. So that way we can have our sweets and food stretched out for longer. And also a reminder to not overindulge, right? Just because it's Halloween and all these candies here does not mean you gotta eat it all at once, or even just eat it. Yeah, you can donate it, you can toss it, or you can, I know you could also not participate, but kids love it. Unfortunately, it's another gluttony. It's, if you really, I'm not going to get into this much, but if you really look, I'm not a religious person, but I know that there are 7 deadly sins, and if you look at our holidays, they revolve around the 7 deadly sins. So, food for thought. Thank you. Until we see each other next Monday at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time-ish for another one of these weekly card readings with myself, live in this group, Heal the Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. Feel free to invite your friends to come and join these live videos, because Thursdays, you ladies know, I also do the Get Your Shit Together with myself weekly live guidance, same time-ish. Or we'll see each other tomorrow at the burn ceremony in the Sacred Circle that I will be hosting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Until next time. Bye, everybody.